let's talk about the conservation of energy. I know this is a bit disorganized, but I will walk you through each step of what's on the board. I do have a more elaborated video that I'm going to post on the YT app tomorrow. Check it out. I don't want to be too explicit so they don't demote this video. But anyway, conservation of energy is the idea that energy within a closed system cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form of energy to another. For example, like kinetic energy to potential energy. All right, so what we have here is that the initial mechanical energy will always equal the final mechanical energy, again, in a closed system. Now, mechanical energy, for our purposes, consists of potential energy and kinetic energy. And that's basically what we have over here. The formula for potential energy is mgh, so mgh initial plus the formula for kinetic energy, which is half mv squared initial, will always equal mgh final plus half mv squared final. Now, we went ahead and crossed out the masses over there because notice how mass is on both sides of this equation in every single term. So you can just cross it out and you're left with gh initial, h is the height, plus half v squared initial equals gh final plus half v squared final. Okay, so how does the equation end up simplifying to like mgh initial equals half mv squared final? So what you'll notice in a lot of conservation of energy questions, so it'll be like a roller coaster that's going up and down, or like a ball that's rolling down a ramp or a hill, a frictionless ramp. When you're at the peak or at the top of the ramp, what you will have a potential energy in the system, but there will be no kinetic energy. And that's because there's no velocity. When velocity is zero, then this kinetic energy term will be equal to zero. So that's where we end up with mgh initial for this side of the equation. All right, well, at the bottom, so this is like right before you stop, you pretty much lose all of your height. So height is practically zero, but then you have velocity, so there will be kinetic energy. And that's why this side of the equation ends up being, so the final height is zero, so this gets crossed out as zero. So you end up with half mv squared final. And then of course you can cross out the masses over here. So just use, whenever you see these equations where they'll tell you, something was at the top of a hill and now it's at the bottom, you can go straight to mgh initial equals half mv squared final, and you can calculate the height, the velocity, whatever they're asking you for. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and follow to stay up to date with all my content, and check out that video on the YT app tomorrow.